Right guys, day 2. We've got the Subaru back here now. She's a blooming mess. It needs a lot of work. So we're going to strip it down, paint it. We're going to do the audio on it. We're going to change these wheels out and put something decent on it because these wheels are just horrible. The interior, I've got some nice STI seats to go in here. So as you can see, the inside's just covered in a lot of junk. Again, full of junk. The whole back of it's just covered in tree leftovers, and these wheels, as you can see, are just again just like filthy. Bit of rust and stuff on the back boot here and down the side, so that's all good. We'll clean it up. So yeah, it needs a lot of work, but first of all we're going to pull the interior out. I'll give that all a bit of a vacuum and clean up, and we'll fit all the seats, get that all looking good. We're going to do a manual box on it, so manual convert it because it's currently auto, and then we'll be doing a full strip down and repaint. I managed to pick up some charcoal metallic paint for cheap, 120 bucks on Marketplace, so I got a painter mate who's going to help me strip all this back and give it a good clean up. It's got a little bit of rust down here and a few other bits and pieces around there, but we should be able to get that done in time. And there, yeah, stick some wheels on it and slam it a bit. So sweet guys, so we've got our STI seats here out of my STI Subaru that I've got spare. We're going to give the interior a bit of a clean out now, and we'll end up chucking these seats in it. So we'll scoot to a time lapse and get these seats in and give it a clean up. Right guys, so we pulled the seats out and the interior's all been cleaned out. She's looking pretty nasty. It's going to need a fair bit of cleaning up, but the bonus is there's $2.30 in here, so it's not like I'm doing it for free. And a lot of free parts, power steering pumps, everything. What more could a man want? So yeah, we'll get all this junk out, we'll give it a good clean up, and we'll get the STI seats in here. Sweet guys, so we're back here with the WRX again. We're going to do the gearbox now, so we're going to jack her up on my mate's hoist and use that, but not before lunch. I've grabbed myself a nice butter chicken pie, Belgium slice, and yeah. Right, axles are out. She's ready to drop on this awesome setup we got. We're just splitting the transmission at the moment. Right, she's all out. Sitting down there, so just a matter of dropping this plate off and fitting the flywheel and the clutch for the manual gearbox and then chucking it all back together. Sweet guys, so after a lot of battling, managed to finally get the manual gearbox in. Been a bit of a mission. Been given 2 wrong flywheels, one for a Sleeker and one for a RX-7, so that's not ideal. But it's in there now. They had issues with the old throw-out bearing was playing up. So now I've got the throw-out bearing sorted, I can chuck the axles back in and do the drive shaft. So yeah, she's all looking up from here. Sweet, so we finally got the manual gearbox up, so we can actually start bolting up these axles now, get all the axles fitted, and then finally chuck it back down on its wheels. We've still got to fit the drive shaft and connect the exhaust, as you can see back here, but that should be easy enough, and then finally do the linkages as well. So, right, so we can take these crappy wheels off. These aren't the wheels I was going to keep on it anyway. I managed to pick up some cheap wheels off my mate because he doesn't want them, he's not really into Subaru, so I'm going to chuck them on for now. They're not the mags that I'll be running when I go to 4's Rotors, but it's just a crap ton better than these. So these are going to come off, and these are going to go on. So it's just making the car look much better. Right guys, the manual conversion's all done. We've got a manual box in here. I had to order one of these cross member braces. I didn't realise the auto one to manual was different, so that was a bit of a pain in the ass, but whatever, she's in there now. We've got a manual drive shaft in there. Everything's all back in pretty much. It's all bolted up, clutch is all ready to go. Only thing I got to fit is a master cylinder and slave cylinder, but I've changed the wheels out on this, so what we're going to do is drop it down, take it on the trailer back to my place, and then I can chip away at the top up there, and then hopefully take it for a drive. Haven't actually tested this gearbox, and the guy who sold it to me said he's not sure of the condition, so fingers crossed we're not going to have any issues, but we'll wait and see. So yeah, this has been up on the hoist for about a week now, so it'd be good to finally get the thing down and actually get it moving again. So I've given up and I've decided to put my good wheels on now, just because it's already on the hoist and it's just easier to do it now, and then I can take it back to mine and actually clean these wheels up. Right guys, I'm thinking for the boot here, rather than try and re-drill the holes and mount it all correctly, it's going to be easier to actually take this boot off and swap it with my race car outside. So I think we'll whip this off, chuck the race car one on, which has already got the STI spoiler. We can prime it and then he can just paint straight over the top of that. It's going to save a lot of hassle re-drilling the holes in this. And I'm wanting to put a big carbon fibre GT wing on the Subaru race car anyway, so we'll whip this off and swap them over. It's going to be much easier doing this way. So I've got the silver bonnet off. Here's a red one here with the wing that I'm going to take off it and put on the silver one, which is getting a repaint, so it won't matter. And then this one here, the actual race car, I do actually want to get this repainted at some stage. If you guys have got any ideas of what colour will look cool on this, just let me know. It's currently red with a black bonnet, and I think the front bumper's black as well, but it's about time it had a paint job because it's been sitting around in the sun. And you can just see on the top, it's all pretty rough up here, it's all been faded and stuff. So yeah, leave a comment below with what colour will look cool, and we'll see who's got the coolest idea, and then might even be able to drop a video on painting this. I don't know if you guys know much about the story behind this car, but this race car I actually bought as a complete write-off. The whole thing had been crashed, and I'll cut to a quick picture of it now. So the whole thing had pretty much been written off. I bought this because I didn't have much money at the time and I wanted to get into racing, and I've literally put like, I don't know, a year's worth of building, maybe even 2 years worth of building into it. Got it caged and everything. Spent a lot of time re-stitch welding the whole back end, getting it all right so it looks good. You can see the cage in there. So yeah, it's just been a general mission, but I've managed to get all the bits back together now, and there's actually an event in Hawkeswood Road popping up shortly, which I might attend. So anyway, here's a picture of the spoiler fitted to the silver car, and that's pretty much ready to go now. We can take it back to ours and paint it. Right guys, so that's the second chapter done for the car. We've got the boot lid on the back. The whole car's had the manual conversion done, so that's all working good. The only thing that's left to do now is paint it, so we're gonna have to strip it back, bog it all up and prep it, and then we can get it to paint before 4's and Rotors. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you like the build, and stay tuned for the third video on the channel.
Search for you, stay lost.